So this is the second part of a talk that I want to give, or uh, something I really just want to say about a new, quite recent initiative, which is called Law and Political Economy. And the idea is, and this is some sort of a leftist attempt to counter the law and economics tradition of Coase and Posner, and but also Ronald Fryer and the type of very good work which African American economists and sociologists and others that they did. It's a careful, very painstaking, statistical type of work. And it is able, in the example is of Pickford, a case where using statistical analysis, using data, African American farmers were able to get a massive payout, even though there was no proof that any individual discriminated against them in terms of giving a loan or whatever it may be. So this was a class action suit. And it was really supported by statistical data. So this was a statistical discrimination. It would have been very difficult to show that this particular clerk discriminated against this particular man. But the numbers, they tell a different story. So really, law and economics, that entire approach, it's very useful. And of course, you see, if you are running a business enterprise and you find out that you're discriminating against a particular group, hey, those guys have got money, they've got cash in their pockets. And they're sitting around going, don't go to that place, go over here because, you don't get a good deal from these guys. You see, that's something that you want to eliminate. Because this follows from from a very fundamental rule that you have in economics, or telling principle that everybody wants to be attractive, to be centrally located, so that they appeal to the broadest base. You don't want to be discriminating. Look what Alfred Sloan did. The reason that there's a campus named after Alfred Sloan is because when he came to GM, or when he was facing the problem of the General Motors, they can't sell cars because there's a Great Depression, and he goes, hang on, there's one group which is buying good cars, it's African Americans. Let's, and at the time they'd actually have to hire somebody else to buy the car for them and pay him a commission. No, screw that. Sell to the African American. It makes sense. Later on, he brought in African American women from the South during the war, so as to keep. It's good business. Business is not about discrimination. Now, of course, when it comes to policing is not. It's union controlled in America. You had police unions, and guess what police unions are like? They are like Teamsters, Jimmy Hoffa, criminals. Have you not watched movies with Robert De Niro? Do you not know about this? Well, let's now, and this got nothing to do with free enterprise. It's got to do with the corruption and systemic racism associated with organized labor, organized lefty bastards. Because the men would all be raping all the women, and and if a woman spoke up, they would say, no, the cause of the working class is more important. You must shut up and open your legs, and as what was the name of that Black Panther, Eldridge Cleaver, who said, the position of women in the African American struggle or the Black Panther struggle is prone. He actually said that he used to practice raping black girls because, so as to be good at raping white girls. Because black power, and, it's all to do with the revolution. Fuck off. So, basically, this is why in the 60s, these cunts, these stupid Maoist, whatever type of shitheads they were told to go fuck themselves. And, of course, feminism was better than anything else. Because when the stupid, worthless feminist academic, or, Shulamit Firestone wasn't an academic, or wasn't much of one, but essentially, she got very depressed because when she tried to talk worthless shit, everybody else would push forward and say, "Nah, yes, shut up, you stupid cunt. I'll tell you real feminine problems." And because, every woman has got worse feminine problems than every other woman. So, basically feminism fell apart because women aren't sheep. Men can be, but, let's face it, men are hypocrites. I want to now look at the LPE, the Law and Political Economy blog. And you have a paper by a lady, Lily Hu, H-U, so presumably a person of Chinese provenance. In other words, extremely smart, high IQ. Vivek Iyer can just go, kindly fuck off, shut up, because you're stupid compared to a female Chinese person. Or a female Iyengar from back home. But of course, Lily Hu is doing applied mathematics and philosophy at Harvard, PhD. In other words, stupid as shit. And she has written, a worthless, completely stupid, very, very foolish blog post. Lily Hu is a PhD candidate in applied mathematics and philosophy at Harvard University. Applied maths is okay. Applied maths and philosophy, we know it's shit. And, and she's basically taking issue with a paper about... about the methodology, about really showing statistical discrimination by police forces in America. Now, the problem here is that the truth is known to everybody except the people doing the research and the statisticians and people doing PhDs. The truth is that criminals don't get arrested. Non-criminals do get arrested because you can't arrest the real criminals. Why can't you arrest the criminals? Because they'll fucking kill your family. Right? So if you watch American TV, if you watch Netflix, or if you wander around, have a little wander, you can see this for yourself. It's obvious that there is absolutely no relationship whatsoever between crime and being arrested. You have to have a fucking FBI task force and this, that, and the other, and we know how that turns out. It's Whitey Bulger. It's a Whitey Bulger thing. So the thing really is foolish. If you're a successful criminal, irrespective of your race, you're not going to be arrested. Your people aren't going to be arrested. Maybe once or twice they're arrested, but then, people are paid off, and if they're not paid off, they're beaten to death. And then that's all. You move out of the arrestable class. But so do we all. Suppose you find that you and your family keep getting arrested, or members of your family or in your neighborhood, this is happening. And then you spend a bit of money and you make sure that the messages received, and you can do it in a perfectly legal manner, and then suddenly there is no more arrests. The guys who are doing that, they're doing something else, they're fucked off. And so you're describing so now what can statistics do over here? Well, it can do anything smart. So if you have a smart thesis and you pick smart instruments, you can show interesting things. The problem is, of course, that academics aren't interested in showing interesting things because they're too fucking stupid. And, you write the usual shite, and, you have a little bit of a method and stride. You can have a little bit of an argument and argy-bargy, and then Lily Who, or Hugh, I don't know how to pronounce her name, I'm so sorry. And then, she can say things like this. The dispute then came down to the oldest problem in the book of statistical inference, whether any estimand in an inference exercise can be identified depends crucially on whether some set of assumptions about the data can be made. This isn't true. You see, statistical inference is something which you do if you have a good structural causal model, a robust structural causal model, and then you do a little bit of statistical inference because you're finding parameters, and those parameters enable you to make more money. They make you, or to save money, or to make more money, or to basically, to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. Now, Lily Who doesn't get that. Why? Because she's doing shit research or whatever, PhD in worthless shit at Harvard, which must be a very comfortable place to do it. But she doesn't get that people use, everybody does statistical inference. I'm doing it, every day, because there are data sets. I've got a structured causal model. That's how I reduce my my spending on stuff, and that I make more money, or at least lose less money. Come on. Who taught this woman that the oldest problem in the book of statistical inference? Who told her that? There is no fucking problem. You see, you've got a structural causal model, you look at some data, you find parameters, you get a better estimate of parameters, which enable you to either make more money, and if you don't, then you do the thing again, or to save money. That's it. Writing papers, she thinks, Lily Hugh thinks, oh, Black Lives Matter, and by doing statistical exercises, that's really going to help. Why? How foolish is this? So, this type of paranoid, what she's basically saying is, oh, well, you see, if only 50 years ago we'd had good statistical inference theory, which is on the side of the working man and the black man and the LGBTQ XYZ. If only, then everything would be wonderful. Well, this is mad. This is stupid. She's being foolish. Go and, you haven't applied any mathematics. Well, you may have applied mathematics, but it's made you stupider than you ought to be, Lily. Get a job. Make money. Investment, she says, investment in getting statistical analyses right, getting the substantive questions about methodology, our social concepts, and political epistemology right, should be a part of any political struggle rooted in a critical assessment of the world as it stands. Lily Who? H.U. It sounds like a Chinese name. Was there not, and is there not now, a Communist Party in China? Does Lily Hu think that Chairman Mao invested in getting statistical analysis right, getting the substantive questions about methodology, our social concepts, and political epistemology right? Does she think that's what happened, that that's what Lenin did, that that's what Mao did? How stupid is she? The fact is, political struggles occur when, and they succeed when, doing the struggling gets you a payoff which is bigger than the being beaten and shot, the expected value of being miserable. Political struggle has got nothing to do with statistical inference, except in so far as the guy doing the directing that struggle, he's got a structural causal model, and he might get some data. What percentage of KMT cadres are corrupt? He said, no, it's 80% of them. That means they'll run away. 80% of the KMT cadre over here, they're corrupt. That's why we attack, because the corrupt guys will run away. And the 20% who weren't corrupt, we can kill them. But actually, if we capture them and we explain what happened, they're going to join us. So you see, statistical inference and so on, it's something that you use to make money or to save money or to advance your cause, and you do that in conjunction with the structural causal model, which actually reflects reality. Now, in universities, you're not going to be allowed to reflect that reality. You can't say that that there's a class of criminals who will never get arrested because they'll kill the fucking judges, or because the judges are in their pocket. But everybody knows that that's the case. The journalist, or the clergyman, the clergyman knows about this. And this is a story that we've seen on the big screen and on the small screen, The Sopranos and The Godfather and this, that, and the other, and then we have Lily Hu. And she's saying, we must invest in getting statistical analysis right. This is mad. Everybody, you can pretty much, I think for students it's pretty cheap if you're a registered student, to subscribe to pretty fantastic programs, or your university provides them to you for free, and you can do stats, and you can make money on the stock market, or in many other ways, and you can also find out. You can make policy proposals for your own neck of the woods. For this, you can have a hackathon, and you can people can actually tell the local police superintendent that hey, this is the way you do the patrolling. These are the guys, and you can do the mechanism design. And that data is available, and the tools are available, and it's absolutely pointless. It's absolutely pointless to have more stupid people talking worthless shite and doing worthless junk econometrics and drive-by regression. But, I suppose Lily Hu isn't that good at applied mathematics and philosophy. I suppose she'll migrate to junk social science. Well, good luck to her. And good luck to the marvelous foundations and universities who will be paying to keep her from doing anything worthwhile for the rest of her life. Good luck to them.